Hey, so I haven't done one of these in a while. Main reason why being I got a new job and was pretty busy kind of settling into that. But I've had a fair few people ask me on Instagram why I'm not doing them anymore and why I don't do video blogs. So I figured I would start it back up again. I'm going to try and do them a bit more regularly, maybe two a week on a Tuesday and one on a Thursday. Although don't hold me to that because I will inevitably forget or get busy or go on holiday. I'm off on a holiday in a fortnight, so I'm already breaking my promises. Um, but basically, there's something I wanted to do again because I really like the kind of interaction I have with people on Instagram and on Twitter as well. And I wanted to open that up a bit more by doing these. So feel free to kind of, sounds cringy, but comment or just shoot me a message on Instagram or Twitter. I'm always happy to chat, especially about books. So we're going to talk about this one today. It's not out till November, but I was quite pleased to receive an advance copy of this. It's called Bonfire, and it's by Krysten Ritter. So if you've heard the name Krysten Ritter, she's an actress. She's pretty well known these days. She was in Breaking Bad as a rather ill-fated girlfriend of Jesse. She was in Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23 as the eponymous Bee. And she is Jessica Jones in Jessica Jones. So she's a big fan of being in TV shows where she plays the title character, I guess. But she's very talented. She is also a musician. She sings and plays guitar in a band. And she is also a writer. So this is her first novel, but she's previously co-written a film, and she also put a pilot together for consideration about her experiences as a model. So she's a fascinating woman, really, and really quite interesting in how varied she is in all these different fields. The initial celebrity novel is always something that's a bit of a bit of a worry. It could be amazing. Graham Norton, the Irish TV presenter, wrote a book called Holding last year, which was very, very good. But you could end up with something kind of ghostwritten and quite low quality, like the stuff that, I don't know, people like Katie Price and Kerry Katona have churned out. All respect in the world to self-made businesswomen like them, but it's a bit of fear when you're picking them up that you're going to end up reading something like that. But no. So Ritter is a good writer for a start, and she's come up with a really interesting concept in that her book is a combination of a conspiracy thriller and also a high school drama. So essentially, the main character, who's called Abby, goes back to her hometown about 10 years after she left. She had a pretty troubled childhood, both in terms of her home life and her experiences at school. So it's not a place she particularly wants to go back to, but working as a lawyer, she goes back to the firm who are investigating some issues with a large company who many people in the town work for. So while she's kind of getting in contact, not massively willingly, with her old school friends, and it's stirring up kind of this old drama that's kind of high school related and also goes quite a bit deeper and darker than that. She's also investigating the kind of tendrils that this company have to see where it goes. So it's a really nice blend of kind of personal connections, personal journeys, and kind of this overarching conspiracy that binds the plot together. Abby's a really good main character. She is, strong and independent and a bit fucked up. And as a result, that comes across really well on a page, and it's well written. And she has quite a sweet kind of, I wouldn't say a love story, but she has a story of kind of growth, and she has a story of kind of, I guess, learning to trust others, which is nice to read. There's a lot of suspense in this, and Ritter is really good at building up that kind of small town feeling. I grew up in a pretty small town, and it's something that felt very familiar to me. That feeling of going back after having been away for a long time. I visit fairly regularly. My parents are great, etc. But that feeling of bumping into old school enemies. Now you're adults. It's quite hard to know kind of how to deal with that, and that's explored here kind of brilliantly well in the way that Abby is kind of forced to confront her past. And the thriller aspect is genuinely thrilling as well. It's built up well. It comes to quite a strong, shocking, and dramatic climax, which again Ritter handles well. She's got a strong grasp on pacing, and it comes to a nice, good, like grown-up conclusion. It doesn't tie things up nicely. It's quite obvious at the end of this that the events in this book are going to mess a lot of people up, and Ritter is quite clear that that's the case. It's stuff people are going to have to continue to deal with, and it's not some major trauma is not something you can move on from immediately. And what's quite interesting is that's something that her role in Jessica Jones dealt with hugely. Jessica Jones was dealing with the manipulations of Kilgrave, who was played by David Tennant. And there's a similar aspect here in that it's a woman kind of moving on from her past and being very troubled, but also relatable and highly likable. So it's out 9th of November, and I really recommend it. It's a really, really good read. And I think people like Ritter are just worth supporting. She's not just an actress, she's clearly a multi-talented artist. And that shows. It's a cracking read, and I would recommend you give it a shout. So I will be back in a couple of days with another one of these, all being well. In fact, I'm going to record it in a couple of minutes, just so I know it's done and ready to go, so I can't forget to put it up. But in the meantime, you can comment below or subscribe if you want. Don't have to, completely up to you, but obviously it'd be handy if you did. Also, shoot me a message on Twitter or Instagram, which I will put the links for, I guess, around here. That's it for this week. Also, before I go, you can check out my reviews on thepagesprinted.com. Or my review for this one was actually done for the website The Book Bag, so you can check them out at thebookbag.co.uk. Search for Luke Marlowe and you'll see a whole pile of reviews that I've done, or if you search specifically for Bonfire, this one should come up too. And there's also a link to it on my Twitter, so you can have a look on there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all fairly soon.